Domo arigato, it's Mr. Roboto. Today I will talk about 3 of my favorite ways to sample in Logic. Let's find a song we like and throw it into our session. In Logic you're able to convert an audio to a sampler instrument with just one click. Let's first use the marquee tool to select a piece of the audio we'd like to sample. Now right-click on the region and convert it to a new sampler track. Because we just have one region selected, we want to create our zones with transient markers. Now Steve Jobs will climb through our WAV file and sets a marker at every transient he finds. I'd like to map these markers to all of my keys, so I select the C1 key till the G8 key. One-shot zones mean that if you press the key once it will play the slice from begin till end no matter how long you hold the key. I want to decide by holding a key how long the sample will play, so I won't be using one-shot zones. Stevie made a new sampler instrument for us. Now we are able to play through our slices. Open your keyboard by pressing Command and K or 0 if you're using my hotkey file. Now if you press some keys you'll hear the slices that Stevie has made for us. Notice how short the samples are. This is because when Stevie finds a transient marker it doesn't take a long time for him to find the next one. Let me show you a trick how you can easily make your slices longer. Hit Alt plus K and type in slice at transient markers. Now click on this function and use the Learn by Key label to map this function to a key you'd like. I'm using the Tiger Claw. Control Alt Command and S for slice. Now when we hit our hotkey Stevie will slice the region's transient markers. If we select them all, we can make all these samples much longer. Now hit Ctrl and E to throw these regions into a sampler track. Because we're using regions, make sure you select regions instead of transient. We want to control how long the sample plays, so don't select one-shot zones. Give it a name and we're ready to go. Notice how I can decide by holding down a key how long the sample will play. Now you can come up with all sorts of different ideas. Here's something I've came up with using this exact same sample. Now I will show you how we can turn a specific sound from a sample into a whole new instrument. Here's the sound of a sample I'm gonna be working with. The first thing we do is open up a new software instrument track. Choose Alchemy as instrument, and make sure it's stereo. Give your sampler a new name. It's always important to be organized. Now the first thing you'll always do is clear the patch. This way we can start with a blank canvas. Import audio into your A source. Here you see a browser window. Navigate to the folder where your sample is located. Unfortunately we can't drag samples into Alchemy from our arrangement window. By clicking on the sample we can preview it. Down below here you've got different sorts of analysis modes. These will all alter your sample in a different way. I will be using the sampler mode. Go to your A source and click on the edit button. Now if we play a key we won't hear any sound. That is because we need to move our starting point. Now I'll adjust my starting point till I hear something I like. By moving the endpoint we decide how long the sample will be played. Alchemy has different sorts of loop modes. Again, just experiment. Here's something I've came up with using this exact same sample. Now if we combine this with the piano we've made before, you'll get something like this. Now I will show you how you can create instruments using just a few samples. Of course we'll be using another instance of Alchemy. Make sure you clear the patch. After that you can load in some audio into your A source. If you want to keep it simple, I suggest you record a low, middle, and high-pitched note of your instrument. Alchemy will automatically detect and map the pitch to the right key. Here are 3 samples I've made from a vibraphone. Hold Shift and select the samples. I'll be using the sampler mode, but feel free to experiment. Now if we go to our A source and click on edit, we can see the true hidden powers of Steve Jobs. Notice how the low, mid, and high-pitched sampled have been automatically mapped to the right key. We've now made a vibraphone instrument and we're even able to play chords. That sounds pretty sweet for a robot. This is the end of this video. I hope to see you next time.